Gregory Gardens is known for its central location, tree-lined streets, and top Pleasant Hill schools. These homes were built in the late 40s into the early 50s as traditional California ranch-style homes. Back then, the railroad ran nearby, and the area was surrounded by walnut farms. Entry-level homes started at 900 square feet with 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. The rest of the neighborhood were built with 3 bedrooms, or if you were living large, you could get a 2nd bath or a 4th bedroom. Back then, there was no such thing as a master suite nor primary bedroom. Over time, a number of homes have been expanded, with some now having modern floor plans, kitchens, and amenities. The expanded homes go into the low 2,000 square foot size, selling as high as $1.4 million, with any 2-bath configuration selling over $1 million with as little as 1,100 square foot. Most 1-bath floor plans sell between $700,000 and $900,000, condition and amenity depending. The average lot size is around 8,000 square foot and has convenient access to parks, trails, transportation, and downtown Pleasant Hill. Just did a drive-through of half of Gregory Gardens. Gregory Gardens is an interesting place because it's split into 2 separate school segments. This is the Strandwood segment that we just drove through. It is the western part of Gregory Gardens. If you look on a map, you will see that two sections are split basically by the Contra Costa Canal, separating one segment from the other. If you take a look at a map, the two segments are separated by the Contra Costa Canal, which runs right through the middle of the neighborhood. Good afternoon, Bob Georgiou from Remax Accord Real Estate, coming to you with another rolling realtor report from Strandwood Elementary School, located in Gregory Gardens, Pleasant Hill, California, on a searing hot August day. Roll the intro. With regards to the market overall, the overall trend has been cooling, but again, I've been telegraphing that for a few months now, that the July doldrums, markets generally stay cool down, people go on vacation, both sellers and buyers, and this was not unexpected. We'll be looking forward to the next 3 or 4 weeks to find out how the trend continues. I expect a rebound into seller strength for that period, and then we go into the year-end transition, and it's anybody's call what's going to happen at that time. In Pleasant Hill, I do expect continued market strength all the way through the end of the year as well. Concord, on the other hand, may be a little bit more sensitive to supply and demand changes, as it typically is, as the markets in Walnut Creek, Concord, and Martinez soften. The buyer traffic moves westerly accordingly, and the higher end properties over there in Concord begin to suffer a little bit. We'll see some rebalancing in the premium market there. In the last 2 weeks in August, we've already begun to see that trend, but we're still in a low inventory situation. Inventory is not keeping up with the buyer demand, and so with August rebounding, buyers coming back into the market, we will see a little bit of that strength recovering. We're showing volatility in August, and September, October, November is kind of up in the air at this time. I don't see anything in the numbers that show a change in the trend, but there is definitely signs of weakness periodically. So we'll just have to wait and see. This is a strong seller's market in Pleasant Hill, but with the low inventory situation through July and the so-called cooling, which is not really cooling, it's just the overpriced listings that came on in May and June got stuck on the market, and they simply reduced without any replacement property, which is being shown in the numbers in this report right now. The median price at the top end has gone down to $1.175 million. The median price of the new listings is down to $780, and again, this is all low inventory numbers. For example, one house sold in every quartile at the top end of the market. Bottom end of the market has more action inventory, but fewer homes sold. Again, looking at the numbers, you would say that this is numbers weakening, but this is typically July doldrum numbers. These are all low inventory numbers on low transaction numbers. They mean absolutely nothing. By the next report, which will be in September, expect all this to change. Have the market make a complete liar out of this document that I'm looking at right here. I'm not going to take any credit for that. Price per square foot has been holding. Average market time has been holding. It's been 30 days for about 2 or 3 months now. That is significant. Will be interesting to see with the new listings if that changes or picks up. But if we're still in a 30-day market rolling into October, it could signal a more neutral market going into the holidays, which will close out the year end for the regular market with the must movers at the last part of the a year in November and December. Again, on In the Pleasant Hill townhouse and condominium market, there's been very little change. 2 new listings came on the market over the last 30 or so, or over the last week. Prior weeks haven't been much different. 2 houses went pending in that same period of time, showing perfect balance between supply and demand, at least in the July doldrums, showing you how sensitive a market is to seasonal changes. Again, I have seen more inventory come on the market here the last couple of weeks in August. I expect toward the end of August that inventory is going to fly off the market as quickly as it came on, because we are into that August market strength, the last push for the year. And you know, I'm not going to see much. I don't expect much changes going into the fourth quarter this year. Just on low inventory and low seller activity. Median price this week is up to $760, but that's been the same high watermark that we've been in for the last 3 months. This volatility is all on low numbers, so that's not expected. Median price of new homes is still around $775,000, or townhouses, or the median price of townhouses is still around $775,000. It's still been in that trend for the last 60 to 90 days. No changes on that front, even through the July doldrums. But then again, this is all on low inventory. But it is important to note that the time on the market has shifted upward dramatically. This could be the fact that the condo and townhouse market is moving away from Pleasant Hill and into the Concord single-family home market. Even though there's low inventory and continued market strength in the townhouse market, I do expect that the softening in Pleasant Hill will first appear in that market, because there will be a shift away toward multifamily and into single-family late into the third quarter, as inventory makes itself available. Doesn't take much of a jump to go from the top end of the Pleasant Hill condo and townhouse market into a single-family home, since the single-family home market starts in the mid-800s for decent inventory. So there is certainly price risk in the condo and townhouse market in Pleasant Hill moving forward, but for now, still looking very stable, still looking very strong, and still a seller's market. The only other comment I would make, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but the volatility is out of the market. I have reported that in other areas. I think Walnut Creek, a lot of their volatility is gone, and Danville, I think a lot of their volatility is gone. But now we're seeing that here in Pleasant Hill. Prices are fairly stable moving forward as new inventory comes on. Since homes and townhouses have been selling in the same general market, getting a little bit easier to price homes in spite of the low inventory floating around the market out there. So I do expect the inventory to be priced right. I do expect some of that market time to seep out of the market for the next 30 to 45 days, going into the other market, where I expect it to rebound back in the buyer's market, where we'll see neutrality toward the end of the fourth quarter. That's as far as I'm going to stick my neck out on the market at this point. We still are seeing interest rates on the increase, still seeing signs of trouble in the banking industry. China real estate market is in the process of collapse, and that may spill over, and that will hit us in 4 to 6 months, probably in the next election year. So it's going to be that's going to have a bearing on interest rates in ways that I can't predict, because the economists are saying that the inflation is finally seeping out of the market, but there are other considerations like generational change in the labor market, which will keep inflationary pressures on wages, and that again is going to trickle over to interest rates in ways that I'm not going to be able to predict, which will in turn affect the real estate market that is currently under pressure in the residential segment, and in correction in the domestic commercial segment, as well as being on the way to collapse overseas. So it's going to be going to be very hard to predict what the long term has for us. If you do have plan on putting your house on the market and you need these prices and are not concerned about the low interest rate on your next purchase, where you might be moving down or be able to put a large down payment in equity that you have on your current house to be moving to the next one, good time to be able to take advantage of that. The most probable thing that I can see moving forward is a tightening of lending standards next year, which, even though there may be a buying opportunity for, if there is some sort of price correction, it's going to be much harder to get a loan. So cash will be king at that point, which is, if you're going to buy and are willing to rent, that seems to be an advisable plan at this point. But again, with all the volatility, I'm not staking my reputation on anything at this point. It's just very hard to predict what the next year is going to handle for us. We're going to have an election next year. It's not going to be a pleasant election all the same, and it's kind of one day, 1 week at a time. So if you have any questions about the market, I can answer specifically about your neighborhood, feel free to call me at the information below. My name is Bob Georgiou with Remax Accord Real Estate, your rolling realtor. Look forward to seeing you out there in escrow. In the meantime, stay cool, and we will see you in August. We will see you in September.